What is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here. Excuse me. And 2018's SummerSlam is in the books. Now, I did a prediction video, and I'm gonna go right off the top of my head with them. The pre-show was, I predicted B Team, Alexander, and Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. Guess what? I got all three right. You know, it's kind of sad to see Rusev go from this unstoppable monster to someone. He held the United States title a handful of times, and yet he's been downgraded to this pre-show. He's been downgraded to this. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. I am not surprised. Drew Gulak has not been relevant. The only thing that he's been relevant for was the Zoe Train, and that was that. B Team versus Revival. Again, it didn't shock me. It did not shock me whatsoever that the Revival lost, because the Revival haven't done anything on the main roster, really. They've got a couple of fluke wins. Yeah. Now, I did not watch SummerSlam. There was no way on earth that I was going to sit through 7 hours of wrestling. And I never thought I'd say this as a wrestling fan, but 7 hours is just way too much. I mean, imagine how the commentators feel. But the opening contest the opening match was Seth with Dean, Dolph with McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship. And I predicted I basically said that if Ambrose stayed babyface, Seth would win, and Seth did regain the Intercontinental Championship. And Dean was a factor in this match. He stopped Drew at every step of the way. And I'm just gonna bounce around here. And it was a good quality match. And I have to say, SummerSlam, like TakeOver, was a great show in my opinion. For one particular reason, which I will get to. Braun Strowman took on Kevin Owens, and it lasted for about 3 minutes. And Kevin Owens literally just got one sliver of offense in, and that was a super kick, which Sorry about that. Not Dolph. Well, Dolph does use the super kick, so I guess I was thinking of him. Um, it felt like 7. I'll say that. Um, Dolph. There I want to go and say Dolph again. Um, Kevin Owens super kicked Strowman. Strowman no-sold it. Strowman just completely no-sold it, and then ran Owens. So Strowman is your money in the bank, and I did predict Strowman because, like in Wrestling for Fans, he's going to probably disagree with this, but but I was not shocked to see Kevin Owens lose simply because of one reason. It would make no sense to give Owens the briefcase. Now, let's talk about the Raw Women's title. If there's one thing I have to say, it's that, number one, this match was awesome. It was awesome to see Ronda completely mow over Alexa. That's right. My prediction was wrong. I said that Ronda Rousey would win, but not win the belt. I thought Alexa was going to hold on to it, but she would lose. That certainly was not the case. So, Ronda Rousey basically just steamrolled over Alexa, and that was that. Your new Raw Women's Champion, Ronda Rousey. And honestly, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it. Okay. Let's hop over other women's title. The SmackDown Women's title match with Carmella, Charlotte, Becky. I predicted this one wrong as well. I said that Becky was going to win. Becky did not win. I was right, however, saying that Carmella's time as champ was over. I was right about that. Because, woo! That's right. Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's title. However, a new development was in the books. After the match, and I'm not gonna say it was a heel turn, because I'm not so sure that it was. It may have just been Becky letting off frustration. But Becky attacks Charlotte and just completely demolished her. So let's see. I've covered the pre-show. I have covered Alright, never mind. I've covered the Intercontinental Championship. I've covered the Raw and Women's title match. So Intercontinental, Raw Women's, and SmackDown. Okay, so and Braun and Kevin. Let's move on to I predicted this match wrong as well. I said Jeff Hardy would win via disqualification. That was not that was not it. However, there was one point in the match where, well, Jeff had already hit the Swanton, and so Jeff decided that he was gonna go for another Swanton. This time, Shinsuke was on the apron, and the bump. That looked. They always say the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. Yeah, I bet feeling the effects of that Swanton. So anyway, Shinsuke moves and Jeff lands on the apron. Back first. Yeah, Jeff, don't do that again, please. But Shinsuke Nakamura ended up picking up the victory. And there was literally nothing special about Shinsuke and Jeff. Sorry to say. Now let's go to the Miz versus Daniel Bryan. First off, great hype package. Great hype package between these two. Well, for these two. But the match itself, I'm not going to say it was a bad match. It was an okay match, and I'm just going to say this. My prediction was, I said that Daniel Bryan would win. Here's the problem. Miz won. And not only that, but Wrestling for Fans' prediction of whether Daniel Bryan resigns or not, that's out of the water, because what we did not know going into this is that Daniel Bryan is locked down for the next 12 months. So even if Daniel wanted to leave, he couldn't. So, yeah, both of our predictions were wrong. Now, Miz won, and I'm not complaining about this. because I said that I would like this feud that has been brewing ever since 2010 is cannot just begin and end at SummerSlam. It's got to go longer. It has to. And I'm hoping that this feud goes all the way to WrestleMania. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know if it will happen or not, but I'm just hoping that this feud goes to WrestleMania. Imagine the WrestleMania caliber match that they could have. But so I only have 4 more matches to go. Let's oh man, I'm drawing a blank. I am blank. Let's see. Oh, Joe, AJ. Actually, let's go with Finn Balor and Corbin first before I get to AJ and Joe. Oh, and Bludgeon Brothers. Okay. I got all of them. Don't worry. What I thought would just be a match where, I could just walk out of the room and like get a bottle of water or something. No. In fact, we got the Demon Finn Balor. I mean, we were supposed to, and it's been quite a while since we have seen the Demon King gimmick. The only last time I remember seeing the Demon King was the Pump King gimmick with against AJ Styles, which felt really weird since AJ was replacing Bray because Bray was sick. So yeah, I don't really understand why they decided to bring it out on this night. But again, another squiggity squash match. Let's go on. Oh. Finn Balor won. And I predicted that right. Now let's move on to AJ and Joe. Arguably the best match of the night. And I say that because of one reason. Blood. And I predicted it right. AJ retained, but not in the way I thought he was going to. It was a DQ. Um, AJ AJ's family was at ringside, and um, Joe he he got a very, very, very sick promo at the beginning of the match and in the middle of the match. Well, the end of the match. Okay. Well, first off, Joe took out AJ on the steps. And after that, AJ's laying selling, and oddly enough, Joe asked for a microphone. He got up on the he stood on the announce table and basically said that by the end of the night, your little sweetheart's going to be calling me daddy. AJ snapped. He snapped. He got up and he just laid out Joe. But I think the funny part is that AJ went into the crowd to console his wife and child, and as AJ is holding his daughter just has the face of, "Mommy, get him away from me." The child was not into it. But seeing their dad bleed probably would traumatize someone. Now I only have two more. Bludgeon Brothers versus New Day. I got this one correct. It was another DQ finish. Bludgeon Brothers survive because they attacked New Day with their Thor-like hammers and just laid New Day out. Bludgeon Brothers stood tall, but I liked the finish. I really did. Because it showed that the Bludgeon Brothers they have to cheat to win. And, the New Day don't lose any steam. So I was happy with the outcome. I was real happy with the outcome. Now, let's move on to the main event of the evening. In one corner, Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman. In another corner, Roman Reigns. The crowd was not into this until Braun comes out. He says, "I'm not going to be like everyone else that held the Money in the Bank. I'm going to fight the winner face to face, and that was it. Strowman got taken down by Lesnar with an F5, and Roman accidentally took out Strowman. I was surprised not to see a cash in, but Roman did end up beating Brock Lesnar, and all I gotta say is thank God for it. You know, I've stated how I felt about Brock, but thank God he dropped the belt. Here's the thing. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, though. Because now that Roman Reigns is champion, and the crowd popped for it, Roman's probably going to get booed again. And, you know, I can understand why they didn't do a cash-in, which my prediction was, I predicted the Universal title match wrong because I said that Brock would retain, Strowman would cash in. That was not the case. However, we're so happy to see the Universal title back on television, but now here's the double-edged sword. One part is happy that Brock is no longer champion. Here's the other. And I've stated this to Wrestling for Fans. Whoever wins the Universal title has got to build it up. Because think about it. 5 holders. Finn Balor, he got injured. Kevin Owens, Bill Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, now Roman Reigns. Pretty big names in the wrestling industry. But when you consider that Brock held the title for so long and he was sitting in Canada for the majority of his title reign, you know, not caring to show up only a couple of days out of the week, or maybe a couple of months out of the year, Brock diminished the title so much that now Roman has to pick up Brock Lesnar's slack and build this title that's in its infancy up. So, 2018 SummerSlam. Wrestling for Fans, what do you think of my reaction? Until next time, I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.